congestion, the jam and all that. So I must say it's a bright morning, and I'm Robert Chirabo Newington, in case you've just joined. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda Extra. Now today I'm going to be handling a very interesting topic and very important. That is, how do we monitor the various funds that government releases to perform various services to the people? Now, under the Office of the President, there is a Directorate of Economic Monitoring. And I'm honored and humbled as well this morning to be hosting the Minister of State in charge of Economic Monitoring, Office of the President, Honorable Beatrice Kulo Kori. And I'm with her, with whom we are going to be discussing more of what this directorate does, the challenges, and of course how best we can ensure that we promote best usage of government funds. You're most welcome, Honorable.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robert. I didn't know our names are also botanical to you. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning to you, and
yes,
of course welcome to our studios.
Thank you.
And now to begin with, Honorable Minister, when you talk about the Directorate of Economic Monitoring, what is your mandate?
Yeah, our mandate is enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, Article 99, Clause 4, whereby we exercise the authority of each head, the President, on behalf of the President. And our mandate is to monitor the implementation, actually effective implementation of all government programs, projects, and even policies, because government come up with policies to direct implementation of this government. So we also monitor to ensure that the implementations do not strip off the policies. Yeah. Then we also ensure that the citizens get the best from delivery of services that government gives to them.
Now, I've loved the word "we ensure." How do you ensure?
By doing on-spot inspections, monitoring of these government programs. We also review documents like by OPM, other ministries, MDS, because we have monitoring departments in all MDS. So we also get their document and compare, then we go into the field. Ours is oversight, monitoring, to see that what the interventions government is doing in an environment or in a district, in a location, is it being implemented as per the policies, as per the programs or guidelines. So that is our mandate.
Now, it's coming to almost a year since the Fountain of Honor appointed you to this office. What has been your experience so far?
Actually, I really want to thank him for giving me this opportunity. Before I came to this office, I was monitoring, but at a lower level, like at a district level. But this one has enhanced my capacity now to monitor at a national level. You look at districts, local governments, you look at ministries, you look at departments, you look at agencies. So it has enhanced the scope of my knowledge, which is something so good. And also during this monitoring, I have learned something. I have learned to be very patient with people. At times you see things which are really straightforward, but when you begin to follow, you see bureaucracy or what. So I have also learned to be very patient with people. Yeah.
And of course, this is not a very easy task, because I've seen you traverse the country in various regions in monitoring. Now, we know there could have been positives.
Yeah.
And there could have been negatives.
Yeah.
But I want to first of all hear from the negatives.
Oh, you want to begin with the negatives?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it is true. We have got many positives and some few negatives. Now, the few negatives we have got, it's like the corruption tendency, of course, where some civil servants connived and they swindled funds meant to implement projects in the local government, even at the ministries. Like a case in point, when we were in Tungamo, we realized that fund was released direct to one of the sub-counties without passing the district for putting up a water point. But that water point was not put, but the fund was utilized to the tune of 100 million. tried to follow it, and we instituted I directed State House Anti-Corruption to follow the case, and they're following it up. Then when we were in Kabale, we found that the town clerk connived with the accountant and swindled about 400 million, went away with it to DRC Congo. I also directed State House and the Interpol to follow up, and we recover those funds. So some of the corruption tendency challenges. Then we also realized that lotting of contracts. When a lotting of contracts to one contractor, some of these contractors, they have capacity, but some, they don't have capacity to do these many contracts given to them, thereby delaying the work, and work can't get finished within the schedule. You find a construction taking 5 years, 7 years without completion because the contractor was being got as no capacity to do the work. Then we also realized in some incidences that the people who should be doing monitoring, like at the local government, at the ministries, they are not doing it effectively. So you realize that there are some deviations like that. So those are some of the few challenges that we have got during monitoring.
Now let's look at the positive.
Now the positives, we realize that the government of Uganda, the NRM government has done a lot to the citizen that we don't talk about, but there are so many. Like when we look at infrastructure development, the whole country is connected to tarmac. Like right from Kitgum to border Sudan, border Congo, Rwanda, all this, there's good road networks across the country, and government is still doing a lot. Then under markets, MATIP, construction of markets in most of these municipals and cities, it is being done effectively. Like in Greater Masaka, we found that the market has been constructed there with the involvement of the vendors. It was properly constructed, and the vendors were very excited about it, because you know when you are selling by the roadside, the rain, the weather can affect your products. But now when you are inside a building, your products are secured, even the quality. So they were very excited. It is not only in Masaka, we moved to most of these municipals like Kitgum. The president commissioned it during Independence Day celebration.
Very modern state of art.
Very modern and twin structure, the best. So people, women are excited, the vendors, very excited about this, and it will boost their morale to trade, to do business. This is something so great. We also realize that the seed schools being constructed in most of the sub-counties, as per the government policies, that all sub-counties must have seed schools. So those sub-counties without seed schools, there are deliberate efforts by government to set up these structures in most of these sub-counties, and they're building modern schools, which are really very good in most of the schools we have gone to. Then we also realized that Paris development model, at the beginning it had challenges, but as we kept on meeting and the president kept calling us to ensure that these projects succeed, we really want to thank him. He has been offering us advice on how the program should be implemented, and it has helped, because now community has accessed money. It had taken long before that the advice of the president for the people to get this money. But as I talk now, majority of Ugandans are accessing this money, and 1 million per household. And people, according to my monitoring, majority of Ugandans are properly utilizing this fund. Some have gone for animal tractions, some are for farming. This is something very good, and I believe it will impact a lot on the lives of the 39% of Ugandans who are still living in subsistence economy. I'm very sure, according to the monitoring and what I have got on the ground, even in Myoga, in most of places, it is succeeding, because we went to the market vendors, the borders, those 18 categories. Majority of them are utilizing this fund effectively, though some few are not utilizing it well. Very few, like about 20%, but 80% of the beneficiaries, they have put these resources into good use. So it is a
well, it is good to hear it from the minister that people are benefiting from this fund, because most of the times we do not get the good stories.
Yeah.
What we get to hear is where the fund has failed. What we get to hear is who has stolen what. Abuses, and we hope by the end of the 3 years for the PDM,
5 years,
where those that are required to pay back, they have a duration of 3 years to be able to pay back this money. I think with what you've just told me, I hope we won't have challenges of people paying back, because the grace period is quite long. I must believe. Actually,
even in one of the municipalities where I went, some groups were saying, we haven't ready to pay back the money now. But I said, no, we want you to get enough profit from this money. That's why the president gave you 3 years of payback, so that after paying back this money, you don't go back to poverty.
Honorable Minister, I want to talk about monitoring, and use the word effective. You've talked about the challenges, and one of them being corruption. You hand over the State House and then police to investigate. But you mentioned something for us to be able to recover this money. Now, this is where we find sometimes challenges. Is there any way or any suggestions that you feel we can take to improve this? When someone causes government loss, why would you award a contract to someone who's going to take 7 years without finishing? You know, they don't have the ability. What are we lacking?
Actually, I have been organizing dialogue with the MDS, because we have so many cases pending with the DPP. So we realized that would not even solve the problem. We need, much as it will solve some, but not all. So now we came up with also a dialogue whereby the Office of the President, we invite, through my ministry, we invite MDS and local governments. We invite them, we bring them together, and we bring these challenges to all of them, and we come up with a way forward on how to solve these problems. Like when we went to Kalangala. When we went to Kalangala, we found that the DCDO, District Community Development Officer, swindled about 12.5 million meant for a particular youth group, YLP, Youth Livelihood Project. We directed his arrest. When he was arrested, we tasked the COW to recover this money. And COW recovered the money, reported back to my office. And some of the places where we found, like the one of the town clerk, we also directed and said the town clerk should be arrested from DRC and should be forced to recover this money. So we are emphasizing so much on recovery first of these funds, then other processes can
because they take long. Really.
They take long. So the best is to recover this money and put into the appropriate use as it was planned for. That's what our focus is. So through these dialogues, we realize that these MDAs, when we bring them together, we coordinate them together, they help in following up of our recommendations. But when we write papers and give to them, it becomes so difficult for them because they have so many tasks. It becomes so difficult for them to implement our recommendations. But when we bring them together, we agree on actionable recommendations on recovery of those funds and also correction. Like now, on the issue of lottings, they have taken our recommendations. They are now, much as they're still lotting, but now they don't give 7 schools, 8 schools, 6 schools as it used to be. Now they've reduced to 2 or 1. So that is something we take it positively, because now we shall not be getting these stallment of these projects all over the country, the way we've been getting most of the areas we've been going. And also like bringing, like under Whoosmiths, they also cluster these projects together, like in the one of Kabale, the one of Mbarara, Ankole. They got only one contractor, but that contractor doesn't have capacity to finish the work. We've been pushing him to the wall, and we've been talking to him so that he finishes the work. But you really see the person doesn't have capacity to do the work. So we are also pushing them on clustering. They should also reduce the scope, not the way they used to cluster so many roads to one contractor. Now, if he doesn't have capacity, it brings gaps in all those areas where a contractor has been given the contract works. So through these dialogues, we are seeing a light after the tunnel. Yeah.
Very initiatives there. Now let's look at equality in terms of service delivery. We've seen a number of government programs, but how do we ensure you find one program is a success in this particular area?
Oh, yes.
You know, we talk about PDM, you may find that in Western Uganda, it's doing great. Maybe when you come to Central, it still has challenges. When you go to Northern, you find because maybe they had NUSAF and all that, it's doing great there. So these inequalities in terms of benefiting and implementation of government programs, how best can we move to avoid these imbalances?
Actually, the best way forward I have seen, like especially with the PDM and Imyoga, whereby if the district team works together and everybody is doing their role, it plays a lot. Because in this PDM, as we've been moving, where we've been getting gaps, are where those people are not working as a team. This one is pulling ropes with the other one, this one is fighting with the other ones. So it brings problems in the implementation of these government programs. Like I want to thank the district commercial officers or the commercial officers in Western Uganda. They have understood their mandate and they're really doing their work. They are really doing their work. I really want to appreciate them. They are advising these vendors, the business people. They are moving to them, training them financial literacy, how to maintain their businesses, how to utilize the funds that they have got from government like Imyoga and PDM, which is something I learned from there. But that is not the case. The other side of Northern Uganda, I think because of what you have said, it is because some of the people, they don't work as a team. So I call upon district leadership to work as a team, not even only at the district level, at the ministries. Like when you find the Ministry of Water, they're setting up water for production or irrigation scheme in a district, they should work hand in hand with Ministry of Agriculture. They should not work in isolation. So teamwork will help to ensure quality services to our people. Then close supervision by our technical team and supervisors to those lower ranks implementing the projects. It will also ensure the quality of services being given to our people and monitoring. So I call upon the offices of resident district commissioners. They should do their mandate. They should monitor all these government programs and projects within their locality. And they should work hand in hand with the political and technical team to ensure that the lapses that they've got are mitigated.
Indeed, we are talking at ensuring that government funds and government projects are effective and they serve the purpose they are meant to do. That is why there is a Directorate of Economic Monitoring in the Office of the President, and I happen to be having the Minister in charge of that. We'll go for a short break, and when we return, we'll still be discussing more. We want to know how you, the public, can engage with this directorate, because most of the times I've come to understand that even before government comes in, the common person is already seeing and they are able to witness that something is going on, something is not happening. How do we help this directorate to ensure I promote effectiveness in terms of government funds and they serve the purpose they are meant for? We'll return shortly.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
In this family, we can't agree on anything. Martha. We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
There's also another program, which is the Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program, WEP, where we have dispersed the funds to the women groups, and of which recovery for the WEP program is around 52%. And of recent, the district was given more funds. The president actually was the one who officiated it during Women's Day on the 8th of March in Chirihura district, where we got an additional 132 million shillings to be given to the youth groups for good performance. But previously we had over 600 million shillings on top of that, and so far so good. That group is very organized actually for the women.
The Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, in partnership with Huawei, has organized the second annual National ICT Job Fair 2023, which will take place at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds on the 17th and 18th of October 2023. The main objective is to address the unemployment gap among the youth in Uganda by providing a platform for them to interact with multiple employers, access job opportunities, internships, apprenticeships, and training programs in the ICT sector. The chief guest will be His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. All members of the public are invited.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back from that break, and thank you so much for being with us on UBC TV. I'm Robert Chirabo Newington. That is in case you have just joined, and today we are looking at ensuring that government funds are used effectively, and I have the Honorable Minister of State in charge of Economic Monitoring, Office of the President, with me this morning. And now we want to focus on how the public, how does this electorate, how can you help? Because yes, they're doing a great job, but they can't be everywhere. And second, no matter how good they are, this one is something that government is bringing for you. You know, Honorable Minister, I must report to you that over time, I don't know what we have lost, but Ugandans no longer see services rendered or infrastructure set by government as they are, theirs.
Yeah.
You
True.
find a young border man out of excitement, her road has just been tarmacked, then he's driving and
The pavements.
even the pavements, there's a way on the tarmac, putting some stand, causing kind of fire. You know, when they riot, they think of burning the road.
Yeah.
Some government is working on the road, and someone is comfortably either buying the cement or buying, and they're very comfortable. This is government money, forgetting it is their money. So how do we, first of all, bring back that? Because the only way they'll come out and report what is not moving right.
Actually, you're very right. Over they call it, it's like the way President talked about it during Independence Day, that we need to move away from politics of identity and we go to politics of interest. How can we do work for, how can we look at the interests of our area like Uganda, like my district, Agago. What are the interests of our people? So when we look at the interests of our people, we need to bring people on board. We need to sensitize people and tell them the benefits of these common goods that we are giving to them, the benefit of the interventions that we are giving them. That's why the president directed some time back, when I was still in the RDC, that all government programs and projects should be launched before interventions begin, so that the benefiting community are told what will be done for them and the benefit of those interventions to them, and also to enhance their participation so that they are involved from the initial stage. This is very key, because they will tell them, if this road is constructed, it will improve on the prices of your goods that you're producing from your area. If there are no roads, you will be cheated, because very few people will come to buy. So people need to be told this so that they honor all these interventions that they give to them. So we need to do a lot of public engagements as leaders at different levels, not only at the ministerial, but even at the sub-county level, because government channel funds down up to the sub-county. Now it is up to the level parishes. So these leaders need to come up and talk to the public that if we are drilling a borehole in this village, government wants you to drink clean water so that you stay healthy. And when you're healthy, you are productive. You cannot be productive when you are sick, when you're not healthy. So we need to create this public awareness and enhance their participation. Then they will begin looking at this intervention that it is for them. Because even this PDM, they said, I have got this government money, but government has given to you to develop your status, to improve on your economic status. So you need to work hard. Like I've seen NUSAF has supported the community in putting up water points. I'm going to NUSAF water, and yet the water belongs to them. Even when they're pumping, they don't pump as if it is theirs. They bank. And the boreholes break down very fast because they think it is for NUSAF. It is for government. So it is us leaders to really sensitize the community, to engage them. Then after the interventions, the president directed that we need to commission these projects to our people, to the benefiting community, so that they can validate that we were told at the launch that the tarmac will pass from here. These are the specifications, that the Maram Road will pass from here. These are the specifications, the constructions, these are the specifications. Is it done the way it was stated? Then also during the implementations, they should report any diversions from what they were told. They should report, because we cannot be all over where government are doing these activities. So the community, when they do this launching, it is for them to know what will be done, so that they report back any divergence. So this is very key. So during commissioning, the community will also validate the work which has been done. Was it done the way we were told during launching? Then it will also make them to own the project. But when we move for monitoring, we realize that in some districts, the launching and the commissioning is not being done. I call upon RDCs in all the respective districts in Uganda. Don't allow any projects of government to be started, or the work to start, without launching of those projects. Those programs should be launched so that we get the participation from the community, the ownership of these programs, the projects by the community. Then at the end of the work, it must be commissioned, so that still we need the community to own these programs, these projects. So it is very key.
Well, very key. Now, also, when you look at economic monitoring, for over time, we know that government uses the local government structure so much. And His Excellency has always talked about district service commissions, city commissions as being problematic when it comes first. People, it is said, pay to get these jobs, pay huge sums of money. Now, if I paid to get my job at UBC, then it will mean that away from salary, I must recover what I put there.
Yeah, true.
And second, if I paid, I'll not perform If I paid my bosses, I would come a week, the other week I don't come, do whatever I want, because you got something from me, therefore, I feel I paid, so if I paid for it. Now, Honorable Minister, how do we fight, or what efforts are you putting in place to ensure sanity or restore sanity at this particular level?
Yeah. You know, fighting corruption is a collective responsibility. We can't fight on the side of government without the 1 inch, without the population. Like when I went for monitoring, in some parts, actually these tendencies of district service commissions getting money, extorting money from the people who go for interviews, who are looking for jobs, it is all over the districts. Not only in one district, not only in one sub-region, but in all the sub-regions in this country. When I went to Barara City, we found the RDC. The RDC of Barara City is a serious man with the mayor, the town clerk. Sorry, the mayor and the town clerk. They're serious people. They were trying to follow a case closely whereby a member of District Service Commission, they asked for 50 million to recruit someone to become an engineer. Then another one to become officer in health department. And the money was taken up to his home. But some little evidence was got. But you know, at times these people also, they're very shrewd. They fight their way during the justice. They fight their way. They were still struggling, and I directed the State House Anti-Corruption to closely follow those cases because there were at least some evidence. So we call upon the public, don't just give your money because you are not supposed to give. If you give money to buy a position, you are also corrupt. It is not only the person getting the bribe from you, but even the one who gives is also corrupt. And according to the law, that person should also be arrested. Why do you give money? So we call upon the public, don't give money. In case money has been got from you, at least try to get evidence. Try to get evidence and also help us so that those corrupt members of District Service Commission are netted. There are so many ways we can net them. Why don't you employ those avenues so that if we arrest some few of them, others will learn from that. Others will learn lessons from us. So it is really a serious issue in all districts. I don't know whether it is only at the district level or at the public service level, but we have got so many cases and concerns from the District Service Commission. Then I call upon the RDCs, the security, the LC5, the councillors. You are the one who recruit the District Service Commission. Why don't you supervise them? Why do you allow them to extort your voters? It is a collective responsibility. You don't need IGG from Kampala to come to your district. You need to do your role, oversight role as a councillor at different levels. As a LC5, LC3, we need to all do our mandate. We need collective responsibility to cut down this vice which has erupted in District Service Commission.
Well, it is a joint effort, and of course, we must ensure that we stop some of these things. Well, one would say if that money will give me that job, then I'll look at how getting it. But you're setting precedences, and we may never come to the end of it. Now, Honorable Ministers, we wind up this show. What is your parting shot?
Actually, I want to thank the President of the Republic of Uganda for all the interventions being done in our country. Because when you move out, that's when you realize that a number of activities are being done in our community, which are not being talked about. So many interventions. And I want to call upon the public. Let's have some sense of ownership on these projects that government is putting up in our different locations. Because we went to a place whereby we found the community was stealing the windows of the classes, the doors of the classes. Then I was wondering, it is your children studying in these classes, and it is you again stealing the windows and the doors, what kind of attitude do we have? As a country, we need to revive our attitudes towards these projects that we have. It is for your own benefit, because if the classrooms are not there, your children will study under the tree, and their education will be interrupted with weather, like the rain. A number of issues will affect their education. So they should really own the projects and the programs that they have. And like when an intervention is done in an environment, like maybe or in an area, like maybe a water point has been put, maybe water for production, sincerely. When you go, there's a trap where animals should drink water from, but these people take cows all over and they spoil this dam within few months. You'll find it is spoiled, everything, it is destroyed. So as the public, let's have sense of ownership for these projects that government puts for us. Then in the office of the president, we have come up with a platform whereby after moving out, like right now we are having engagements with the National Planning Authority, with the Uganda Development Bank. We are having engagements in a number of sectors where there are gaps to see how best we can rectify those gaps. And we are also trying to like coordinate them where we have got challenges. We coordinate them, we call them in the office of the president and we sort out those issues amicably. So with even service delivery, we realize that this is very effective, whereby you call the implementers and the beneficiaries together, and those who are like the contractors, we started bringing them on board. Where are your challenges? Why are you doing studio work? They will give us their challenges. When the engineers are also there, when the district leaderships are there, the MDAs, they're also there. And we realize that there's poor coordination between central government and local government. So we are providing a platform to harmonize their activities, because you cannot move from Kampala and do interventions in local government without involving the leadership of the local government. It cannot succeed very well. So we want that synergy to be built as a country, and through this monitoring, we have created that platform for them.
Well, I just want to thank you so much, Honorable Minister, the Minister of State in charge of Economic Monitoring, Office of the President. We need to have a sense of owning public goods and respecting the services, as well as promoting accountability as Ugandans, because at the end of the day, when government thinks of a project and you stand to be a beneficiary, it is you, much as we together join the money economy. By the end of the day, this is targeting you. When that hospital is being put in place, when that school is being put in place, when a road is being constructed, it is you to benefit. So let's be accountable, let's own these. And of course, we hope and pray that with such an electorate, we'll have more accountability and value for money. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow, God willing, for God and my country.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.